3 terrifying real Tinder horror stories. Online dating can be thrilling. New connections, exciting possibilities, and maybe even love. But sometimes, behind those smiling profile pictures and charming texts, lies something far more sinister. In today's video, we're diving into 3 terrifying real Tinder horror stories that will make you think twice before swiping right. These are not ghost stories or urban legends. They're disturbingly real encounters that happen to people just like you. So, grab a drink, get comfortable, and get ready to be spooked. You won't look at online dating the same way again. And before we begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Who knows? It might just be the safest choice you make tonight. Now, let's get into it. Story 1. The date that never happened. Location: Chicago, Illinois. Characters: Emily, 24, Jason, 28. Our first story takes us to the bustling streets of Chicago, where a young woman named Emily discovered that sometimes the scariest encounters are with people who don't even exist. Emily was no stranger to dating apps. After a rough breakup, she turned to Tinder, hoping to meet someone new. That's when she matched with Jason. He was everything she was looking for: charming, good-looking, and funny. His profile showed pictures of him traveling, hanging out with friends, and playing guitar. They texted constantly, sharing jokes, late-night thoughts, and even flirty banter. Jason was attentive, always replying quickly, making her feel like she was the center of his world. After weeks of texting, they finally set up a date. Jason suggested a cozy cafe in downtown Chicago that he swore made the best lattes. "I'll get there early to grab us a good spot," he promised. Emily spent hours getting ready, picking the perfect outfit, and even rehearsing how she'd greet him. Her heart was pounding with excitement as she walked into the cafe, the smell of freshly brewed coffee filling the air. But Jason wasn't there. She checked her phone, no new messages. Feeling a little awkward, she ordered a latte and chose a table by the window, watching every passerby, hoping to spot him. 15 minutes passed. Then 30. Her phone buzzed. "Running late, traffic's crazy. Be there soon." Emily smiled, relieved that he was still coming. But an hour went by, then another. Every time she texted, Jason assured her he was on his way. But he never showed. Embarrassed and disappointed, Emily left the cafe as the staff started cleaning up for closing. She walked down the street, feeling foolish for waiting so long. Needing to clear her head, she wandered into a nearby bookstore, hoping to distract herself with a good novel. The store was quiet, the faint smell of old paper filling the air. As Emily browsed the shelves, she felt an odd sensation, like she was being watched. Her eyes scanned the room, landing on a man standing at the end of the aisle, half hidden behind a stack of books. Her heart skipped a beat. It was Jason. He looked exactly like his profile pictures, even wearing the black jacket he'd mentioned. But something was off. His face was expressionless, his eyes cold and unblinking. Emily's initial relief turned to unease. She forced a smile, calling out, "Jason?" But he didn't respond. He just stood there, staring. She took a hesitant step forward, and his lips curled into the faintest, most unsettling smile. A chill ran down her spine as he turned and walked out of the store without a word. Confused and a little creeped out, Emily pulled out her phone and texted him, "I think I just saw you at the bookstore?" The reply was instant, "Still stuck in traffic. Rain check?" Her blood ran cold. She looked up, but Jason was gone. How could he be texting her if he was just in front of her? Her heart raced as she hurried to the entrance, scanning the street. But he was nowhere to be found. Shaken, Emily rushed home, locking her door behind her. Her hands trembled as she typed Jason's name into a reverse image search. The results left her breathless. Every photo was a stock image. Jason didn't exist. She tried calling his number, but it was disconnected. She went back to Tinder, only to find his profile was gone. It was as if he had never existed. Disturbed, Emily blocked the number and deleted Tinder from her phone. But that night, she received a text from an unknown number. "I saw you at the bookstore too." Her heart stopped. Then another message followed. "I'll see you again soon." She looked out her bedroom window and saw a figure standing on the sidewalk, staring up at her window. It was Jason. Or whatever was pretending to be him. She shut the blinds, heart racing, and called the police. But by the time they arrived, the street was empty. Emily moved out of her apartment the following week. She never heard from Jason again, but sometimes, while walking through the city, she feels eyes on her. And every now and then, she catches a glimpse of that familiar black jacket, just watching. Story 2: The Unwanted Passenger. Location: Austin, Texas. Characters: Megan, 27, Tyler, 30. Our next story unfolds in Austin, Texas, where one woman's charming date turned into a nightmare that followed her all the way home. Megan was excited when she matched with Tyler. He was everything she was looking for: handsome, funny, and they shared a love for dogs and hiking. Tyler's profile was filled with pictures of him camping, volunteering at a dog shelter, and even running a marathon. He seemed genuine, like the kind of guy who had his life together. They texted constantly, and his humor and charm quickly won her over. After a week of chatting, Tyler asked her out to dinner at a popular restaurant downtown. He even offered to pick her up, but Megan declined, feeling safer driving herself. "I'll meet you there," she texted. "Looking forward to it." That evening, she wore her favorite dress and arrived at the restaurant 5 minutes early, her heart racing with excitement. Tyler was already waiting, flashing a charming smile when he saw her. "Megan, right? Wow, your pictures don't do you justice." She blushed, his compliment easing her nerves. The evening was perfect. Tyler was funny, attentive, and seemed genuinely interested in her stories. They laughed over shared anecdotes and bonded over their mutual love for hiking trails in Austin. After dinner, Tyler walked Megan to her car, giving her a warm hug. "I had a great time. Text me when you get home safe, okay?" His thoughtfulness made her heart flutter, and she promised to message him as soon as she was back. As she got into her car, Tyler waved and walked toward his own vehicle. A black Honda Civic parked down the street. She watched him get in and drive away before starting her own car. As Megan was about to pull out of her parking spot, she noticed something odd. A crumpled napkin was tucked under her windshield wiper. She stepped out, curiosity getting the better of her. Unfolding the napkin, she felt a chill run down her spine. Scrawled in messy handwriting were the words, "Cute car. See you soon." She looked around the empty street, heart pounding. Who would leave such a creepy note? And how did they know it was her car? Trying to shake off the uneasy feeling, Megan got back into her car and locked the doors. She convinced herself it was just a stupid prank and started driving home. But as she turned onto her street, her heart sank. Headlights appeared behind her, following her every turn. A black Honda Civic. The same car Tyler drove. Megan tried to calm herself, thinking it was just a coincidence. But when she parked in her driveway, the Civic slowly passed by her house, its headlights off. Her phone buzzed. "Home safe?" It was Tyler. She replied, trying to sound casual, "Yep. Thanks for a great night." He responded immediately, "I had fun too. Let's do it again soon." Megan smiled, her fears easing. But just as she was about to head inside, the Civic appeared again, this time parked a few houses down. The driver was just a silhouette, watching. Megan's skin crawled. She quickly went inside, double-locking her doors. She peeked through the curtains, but the car was gone. The next day, she texted Tyler, casually asking about his car. His response was chilling. "I don't have a car. I Uber everywhere." Megan felt her blood run cold. If Tyler didn't drive, then who was following her? She tried calling him, but the number was disconnected. When she checked his Tinder profile, it was gone. Feeling sick, she did a reverse image search of his photos and found them on multiple social media profiles, but all under different names. Tyler wasn't real. But whoever she met that night was. Terrified, Megan blocked the number and deleted her Tinder account. But the nightmare didn't end there. That night, as she was drifting off to sleep, her phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Cute car. Told you I'd see you soon." Her heart stopped as she heard a car engine outside. She peeked through the blinds, her blood turning to ice. The black Honda Civic was parked across the street, headlights off, a shadowy figure sitting inside, just watching. Megan called the police, but by the time they arrived, the car was gone. Weeks passed without any sign of the Civic, but she still felt uneasy. Then, one evening, she received another text. "I never forgot about you." She looked outside, and there it was, the black Honda Civic, headlights off, a silhouette in the driver's seat, waiting. Story 3. The roommate nobody knew about. Location: Seattle, Washington. Characters: Lisa, 29, Aaron, 32. Our final story takes us to the rainy streets of Seattle, where one woman's charming date led her to a home filled with secrets, and a chilling discovery she'll never forget. Lisa had been on Tinder for a while but hadn't met anyone who genuinely caught her interest until she matched with Aaron. He was handsome, witty, and shared her love for cooking and hiking. They texted for hours each night, swapping funny stories and talking about their favorite Seattle restaurants. After weeks of chatting, Aaron invited Lisa over for dinner at his place, wanting to show off his cooking skills. Feeling comfortable with him, Lisa agreed. Aaron's apartment was in a trendy neighborhood, modern and stylish with floor-to-ceiling windows and minimalist decor. As Lisa stepped inside, she was impressed by how clean and organized everything was. He even had candles lit, filling the space with the warm scent of vanilla and cinnamon. "Wow, you went all out," she laughed, and Aaron blushed, admitting he wanted to make a good impression. They spent hours in the kitchen, laughing as they prepared pasta from scratch. Aaron was charming, attentive, and genuinely funny. But as they sat down to eat, Lisa heard a faint noise from down the hall. A door creaking, followed by a soft thud. She looked at Aaron, who seemed unfazed, and he shrugged. "Old buildings. They make weird noises all the time." Lisa tried to brush it off, but the uneasy feeling lingered. As the evening went on, she kept catching glimpses of movement out of the corner of her eye, only to find nothing there. She laughed at herself, thinking she was just being paranoid. After dinner, Aaron gave her a quick tour of his apartment. There was a small office filled with books, a pristine bathroom, and his bedroom, decorated in neutral tones. But one door remained closed. Lisa couldn't help but ask, "What's in there?" Aaron's expression changed for just a second. His smile faltering before he quickly replied, "Just a storage room. It's a mess." They moved on, but Lisa's curiosity was piqued. She excused herself to use the bathroom, but as she passed the closed door, she noticed something odd. There were faint scuff marks on the floor, like the door had been opened and closed repeatedly. She leaned in, pressing her ear against the wood. For a moment, she heard nothing. Then, a whisper. A faint, muffled voice. Startled, Lisa pulled back, nearly tripping over herself. She tried to convince herself she was just hearing things. But as she turned to head back to the living room, the door creaked just slightly, as if someone on the other side was watching her. Her heart raced, but when she returned to Aaron, he was smiling casually, showing her a photo album from his recent hiking trip. Lisa tried to relax, but she couldn't shake the eerie feeling. As the evening wound down, Aaron walked her to the door and hugged her goodnight, asking to see her again. She agreed, trying to act normal, but the minute she got home, she went straight to her laptop. Her curiosity had gotten the best of her. She searched Aaron's name on social media, but his profiles were oddly sparse. No family, no tagged friends, only a few selfies and nature shots. It felt curated. She almost let it go, but something pushed her to dig deeper. Using his full name and location, she found a news article. The headline made her blood run cold. Woman missing for 3 months, last seen at boyfriend's apartment. The article was from 3 months prior, and the boyfriend's name was Aaron. Her Aaron. The missing woman's photo was hauntingly familiar. She remembered seeing that face before, in the photo on the dresser in the closed room. The door she wasn't allowed to open. Terrified, Lisa called the police anonymously and reported what she'd seen. Days later, she heard on the news that the police searched Aaron's apartment. They found women's clothing, personal items, and even a journal belonging to the missing woman. But Aaron was gone. Vanished without a trace. His phone was disconnected, and his apartment was cleared out. Shaken, Lisa deleted Tinder and blocked every number she had associated with him. But she couldn't forget the whisper she heard behind that door. She could have sworn it said, "Help me." To this day, she wonders how many others had been inside that room, and if they ever made it out. Online dating is meant to bring people together. But sometimes it brings you face to face with something far darker than you ever expected. These 3 stories are a chilling reminder that not everything or everyone is as they seem. Which story haunted you the most? Do you have your own eerie dating app experience? Let me know in the comments below, if you're brave enough to share. If you enjoyed this journey into the terrifying world of online encounters, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more creepy stories and real-life horror. And remember, next time you swipe right, be sure you know who's on the other side. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.